I'm turning the shed into an office slash she shed for my wife. It used to be my son's music studio. It's a great space. It has a mini split in it, 2 functioning windows, but it could really use some natural light. So I'm going to put 2 large picture windows at each end. As you can see, I've just about finished building this one just to kind of figure it out before building it on camera. We'll go ahead and put this one to the side and build the next one and go over all the steps involved. The first step is to rip the jambs to width. Since the walls of the shed are made of 2x4s that measure 3.5 inches, and the siding of the shed is 1/2 inch, and I'm using 1/2 inch sheetrock on the inside, I'll add 1 inch to that measurement, and I ripped the jambs at 4.5 inches. After ripping the jambs to width, I set up a stop block to cut them to length, and the next step is to build the window frame using pocket hole screws. I'll use 3 screws at each end, 1 in the center, and then 1 inch from each side. Now that I have the pocket holes drilled, I'm going to build the frame first by gluing and tacking the parts together with a few nails. And notice that I'm using a piece of 3/4 inch MDF. That gives me a nice surface to register off of and helps to keep all the parts nice and flush while I'm building the frame. So I'll tack the parts together first, and that will keep them from shifting when I'm driving the pocket hole screws. With the parts tacked together, I'll stand the frame up and then clamp it for a little bit more insurance and then drive the screws. I'm building the frame out of 5/4 material and I'm using 1.5 inch long screws. I'll drive the screws on either side of the clamp, then remove the clamp and drive the center screw. Another nice thing about using the MDF is it just makes it very easy to move around the workpiece. Now that I have the frame made, the next step is to make a piece of molding that will act as a window stop for the inside of the frame. To make this piece of stop molding, I'll start by ripping 5/4 material at 1/2 inch. For the next rip, I've adjusted the blade to a 7-degree angle and set the fence at 3/8 inch. The next step is to attach the molding to the inside of the window jamb, and I want to set the molding back 3/8 inch from the edge of the jamb that faces the outside of the window. And I'll do that by using a stick that I've ripped at 3/8 inch. I'll use that stick as a guide as I attach the molding. I'm using a little Type-On 3 wood glue, and I'm attaching the molding with 1-inch nails. I did trace a line, but I'm also using the molding. It's just easier to hold the stick flush as I attach the molding. And I'll just work down the line of the molding, making sure that I'm always flush with the edge of the jamb and the stick. With the inside stop molding attached, the next step is to attach the outside casing. And I want the same 3/8 of an inch reveal on the inside of the jamb. So I'm using the same 3/8 of an inch stick as a guide, and I'll mark a line on the inside of the corners. Holding the stick flush with the inside of the jamb, I'll use a sharp pencil and trace a line. After making the first miter cut, I'll hold the inside of the miter at the line and mark for the next cut. I'll have this detailed drawing of the moldings on the website post, along with a few additional photographs, and if you want to check that out, click on the link in the description below. Now that I have the casing attached to the outside of the window, that will allow me to install the window from the outside of the building. The next step is to make the molding that will be attached to the inside of the jamb and hold the glass in place. I'll make the molding by first ripping the board at 2 inches and then resawing the board at 1/2 of an inch. I'll need 4 pieces of molding for each window. This molding will fit inside the jamb and hold the window against the window stop. I'm not using miter joints with this molding, and I'm going to cut the molding that will fit at the top and bottom of the window first. Now that I have the molding cut to size and fit inside the window frame, I'll take it out and pre-drill and countersink 4 evenly spaced holes in each piece of molding that I'll use to attach the molding to the jamb with stainless steel screws once the glass is installed. Okay, with the holes drilled, we'll move on to the window that I've already painted for the next step. I've got the outside of the window frame facing down. I'm just about to drop the glass in place, but before I do that, I'll put down a small bead of translucent caulk to seal the window. Okay, well, that's about all there is to it as far as building the window. I will be making a separate video on installing the window, but that's a few weeks from now. And I'll make a playlist, so if you want, you can follow along this whole shed project. Should be a pretty nice space once it's finished. It's definitely going to make a big difference in the space, the inside space of the shed. And yeah, I think it's going to look good. It's going to be a really nice space to get some work done. I think my wife's really going to like it. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.